My name is Mingxuan. I am an ordinary college student. My biggest love is to complain. I didn't expect that this broken love could actually make me travel through time. This is how it was. I was swiping a drama in the dormitory that night, and my phone suddenly had a black screen, and then a white light flashed. When I slid my eyes again, it was no longer the floor of the dormitory, but a piece of chicken shit. Boat, what kind of ghost place is this? I looked down and saw that there was a broken village around. Chicken ducks ran around on the mud road. There was also a flashing cloud in the sky, with the words "Welcome to the strange land, I wish you the first day of life." What's this? Is the game opening CG? Before I could react, a fat big cock on my foot raised his head and spoke to me in a standardized manner. "Hey, new, you stepped on my floor. Do you understand the rules? Apologize to the chicken quickly, otherwise I will peck your butt." My brain was in a daze and was stunned for 3 seconds before returning to my senses. Why would you still say something when you have a chicken? Do you still want me to apologize? Why don't you let me kowtow you? The big cock heard it, and his feathers exploded. What a big pussy! I am the leader of the village patrol team. Do you dare to be stubborn? I don't peck you so much that you can't find your teeth. As he said, it really opened its sharp beak and slapped at me. Bored, don't move, brother chicken. I jumped open all the time, and there was still a group of mist in my brain. He's traveling through time, right? Or traveling to a floor where chickens can speak. I was about to complain a few more sentences when a mechanical sound suddenly echoed in my brain. Ding! Tutsao's system is activated. The host is clear, and every time you complain, you can unlock strange abilities at random, and the ability effect depends on the quality of the complaint. After the first complaint was detected, the reward ability is Chicken Mastery. It is an effect. What? Chicken Mastery? What kind of ghost ability is this? I hadn't had time to digest it yet, and the big cock in my ears suddenly turned into a clearer language. You can't escape, you're not allowed to escape. I have to teach you how to be a human being today. I subconsciously replied, teaching me as a human being? Can you teach yourself not to shit out for a long time? The patrol team is so great. Is there a chicken dump to patrol? Ding! The complaint was successful, the chicken mastery level was improved, and the additional bonus was Agility +1. The mechanical sound started to sound again, and I felt that my body was lighter and the speed of dodging the chicken claws was faster. The big cock's eyes were red. You are so angry that I am so angry. I'll tell you, brother, to get you. It cried out, and the group of chickens around it actually surrounded him, muttering in his mouth, "New, come and ask for a beating. You dare to mess with the captain, you're alive." I looked at the group of chickens and said nothing. Is this village the world of chickens? Where are the humans? Where have they all gone? This time travel script is too miserable. Ding! Successfully complained, unlocking new abilities. Cross of chicken, effect, anger the chicken group, attract hatred, but reduce its attack accuracy. The system sounded just now, and the group of chickens became even more angry. They slapped their wings and rushed towards me. But strangely, their claws were always tilted to one side and they didn't catch me. Ha! Are your claws decorated with these stupid chickens? I ran and laughed, but accidentally fell into a mud pit, falling all over the face. The chicken group saw the situation and made a total ridicule. Ha, stupid man, you will die. I got up, patted the mud on my face, gritted my teeth and said, "Why are you laughing? I will make you look like a chicken soup." As I was speaking, the system sounds were heard in the brain. Ding! Successfully complained, unlocking the temporary ability, Chicken Soil Threat, effect, shock the chicken group in a short time, reducing their fighting will. Sure enough, the group of chickens heard the 2 words chicken soup, and Lima was a little bit disgusted. Even the patrol leader took a step back and muttered, "Why is this human being so? Brothers, retreat first and find the Chicken King to avenge the revenge." The chicken group scattered, and I stood there, asking with my face, "King Chicken? Is there a boss-level chicken here? How weird is this world?" I just finished complaining, and the system sounded again, ding. The complaint was successful, and I touched the first mission, defeat the Rampage King. Award, unknown ability unlock plus survival base equipment. Mission location, Chicken Mountain outside the village. Please go immediately. I heard it almost broke down. System, do you really think? Let me, a person who has just traveled through time, fight the Chicken King? Why don't you let me go and slap Dragon directly? Ding! The complaint was successful. The reward, the complaint energy plus 10, the accumulated energy can be used to change small props. The system replied coldly, completely ignoring my protest. I sighed helplessly and looked up. There was indeed a small hill far away. I could hear a chicken scream on the top of the mountain, which made my ears hurt. Okay, you have to fight on the first day of time travel. This drama is really exciting. Just as he was about to come out, a figure suddenly appeared beside him, holding a broken sword and slamming the air. Ha! Look at my master Lu Feng, who is the demon of the world. As a result, he fell down and hit the tree next to him. The branch fell and directly hit his brain. My mouth twitched. Brother, your surgery, is a trainee who cuts trees? He turned his head and looked at me, stunned for a moment, then patted his chest and said, Hey, brother, what do you know? This means that people can unite the drama, and even trees can feel my drama. Yes, who are you? New? Mingxuan, I have just traveled through time. I replied without any worries. Where are you? Where are the people in this village? Why are there chickens and a tree cutter left? Lu Feng slapped his head and smiled. This village has been occupied by the Chicken King for a long time, and all the villagers have run away. I am an adventurer on the way. I heard that there is a reward for beating the Chicken King, so I came to try the air. As a result, the swordsmanship has not been practiced yet, and I haven't even touched a single chicken hair. I rolled my eyes. At your level, you can do it for free when touching chicken hair. Forget it, let's go together. I have also accepted the mission of the King of Chicken. I can't just gun a horse and die. Lu Feng's eyes lit up as soon as he heard this. Okay. Brother, we are the destined friends. Let's go and fuck that big cock. Before we could come out, another explosion came from the side, and then a girl in a wizard robe rushed out of the smoke, ran and shouted, Ah, my magic is out of control again. Who is here to save me? Lu Feng and I looked at each other and said in a different voice, What's going on? The girl ran to us and said panting, My name is Jianing. I am a magician. I just wanted to try a new magic, but I put the grass on the chicken foot. Now the chicken group has gone wild and is coming here. My brain veins leapt. Sister, you are specially used to attract hatred, right? We haven't gone up the mountain yet, so you have led the boss's minions? Ding! The complaint was successful. The reward, complaint energy plus 5. The system sounds up again, and I am already very worried about the system. Jianing stuck out her tongue embarrassedly. It's a mistake. Why don't we solve it together? Hear that the Chicken King has a treasure. Lu Feng heard the sacred and set off on horseback. Treasure. That must be done. Ming, let's have 3 teams. I have thought of the names, so I'll call it the Most Troubled Adventure Group. I couldn't complain, this name is really a sticker. Before I could say anything, there was a terrifying chick coming from afar, and the ground shook 3 times. A giant cock taller than a human was pulled down from the foot of the mountain, its feathers were rising, its eyes were red, and its mouth was shouting, Who dares to burn my plate? I want to tear you. I swallowed. Is this the Chicken King? Is this the chicken or the dinosaur? Ding! The complaint was successful. The temporary ability to unlock the lock, Chicken King, effect, reduced the attack speed of the Chicken King in a short time. The system sounded, and I felt a little relieved. Lu Feng lifted the broken sword and shouted, Look at me, I chopped it. As a result, after one sword was gone, it was cut off again, and the sword was stuck in the mud. The Chicken King rushed over with one claw, and Lu Feng was suffocated directly. He rolled 3 times before getting up, and shouted in his mouth, I'll go, this chicken is so hard. Jianing chanted a spell in a hurry, "Flame, burn you to death." As a result, the fireball did not hit the Chicken King, but instead exploded on the stone beside him. The gravel flew around and almost hit me. I yelled, "Can you rely on the slightest point? One cuts the empty space and the other blows up your own people. This team is funny." Ding! Successfully complained, unblocked temporary ability, team ridicule, effect, attract the attention of the Chicken King and reduce the damage to the teammates. As soon as the system sounded, the Chicken King turned around and stared at me, roaring, "The most stinky human beings is you, look at me not to peck you to death." I hurriedly shouted, "King of Chicken, come on, peck me, your claws are so short, can you touch me?" The side said that with the blessing of chicken mastery, the King of Chicken was even more angry and rushed over, but because the attack speed was weakened, it was always half a beat slower. Lu Feng took the opportunity to get up, lift the sword, and chopped it from the side. Although it didn't hurt, it attracted some attention at all. Jianing threw magic behind him, and occasionally burst out a pile of smoke, causing the Chicken King to cough. I evade and complain, "King of Chicken, you have a figure that takes 2 steps to pant. You don't eat less chicken feed in normal times, right?" The system sounded again, ding. The complaint was successful. The temporary ability to unlock the bone, King of Chicken, effect, further reduced the strength of Chicken King's fighting. The King of Chicken was so angry that he vomited blood. His movements became slower and slower. In the end, he stepped on the air and fell into the pit that Jianing had just exploded, and was stuck. The 3 of us saw this. They went up to the front of the horse. Lu Feng poked the sword with the sword, and Jianing threw the small fireball. I continued to say, "King of Chicken, please understand. At this level, you will lose your face when you are in the king's capital." Finally, the Chicken King let out an unwilling sorrow, which turned into a ray of light and disappeared, leaving only a pile of chicken hair and an old treasure box on the ground. The system sounds, ding. The mission is completed. Bonus, a set of survival base equipment, comment on energy plus 50, unlock new ability, chicken hair protective armor, effect, use chicken hair to make temporary protection props. I looked at the pile of chicken hair and said without saying, "This ability is so weird." Lu Feng opened the treasure box excitedly, but there were only a pair of torn boots inside. He was disappointed and said, "What are you hiding?" "That's it?" Jianing said happily, "At least we win." "Ming, your mouth is really a weapon. If you complain a few more in the future, we might be able to sweep the vast land." I rolled my eyes and sat on the ground gasping for breath. I just want to go home. In this broken place, chickens can be the king. Who knows there is anything more miserable waiting for me? As he was speaking, the flash cloud in the sky flew over again, with a line of words on it, "Congratulations to the victory of the first battle of the most pitiful adventure team. Next time, prepare to welcome the Raging Pig Rider group. Tip, they are better than the Chicken King." I looked at the lines and collapsed. "Are you here? System, can't you tell me the way home? I really don't want to stay in this strange mainland. My name is Mingxuan. I just defeated a giant cock called the King of Chicken in Weipao Land, and then formed a most pitfall adventure group. Teammate Lu Feng is called a Sci-Tech Master, but he cuts the air. Jianing is a magician, but the magic specializes in blowing his own people." The 3 of us sat at the entrance of the village, staring at the mission prompt of the furious pig riders group left by the flash cloud in the sky, and our brains were full of questions. Pig rider group? Why can any animal be a boss here? Are there any bull magician and sheep archer in the next step? I couldn't help but complain, and the system in the brain called Rima, ding. The complaint was successful, and the reward for the complaint energy plus 5. Lu Feng rubbed his broken sword and said happily, "No matter whether it is a pig or a cow, we can just hide it. Although those 2 broken boots are useless, they are a spoil at least. I may be able to get something good next time." Jianing picked up a cube of chicken hair and her eyes lit up. "These chicken hairs can be used as magical materials. I have a new method, and I may use it." As soon as I heard this, Lima stepped back 2 steps. "Sister, can you stop blowing us up again? The fireball almost burned my hair last time. As he was speaking, the flash cloud in the sky suddenly changed color and turned into a big face. He raised his eyebrows and subtitles appeared in his mouth. Single, the most pitiful adventure group, it's been a good thing. I am your supervisor Zihan, the official certified mission publisher and complaining. The king of chicken is just a hot man, and now he will arrange a real challenge for you. I was stunned and looked up at Zhang Yun's face. Teacher? Are you complaining? How can you hear the setting like an unreliable NPC? Ding! Successfully complained, rewarded with energy +10. The system sounded, and Yuning Zihan was not angry, but instead smiled. I'm quite hard-mouthed. Okay, I like to complain, right? Then take on a task that will make you complain. After hearing this, you three need to give me a from slime to the town's funny town. Be careful on the way, this slime is not a fuel-efficient light. Lu Feng heard this and Lima said, Slime? Isn't that the weakest monster in the game? This mission is too simple. Jianing tilted his head and asked in confusion, say slime? What does it mean? Will it express itself? I rolled my eyes and said, no matter what it means, Zihan can't be kind at first sight. There are tricks in his mission. Let's be careful not to be killed by slime. As the voice fell, a gurgling sound suddenly appeared from the grassland next to the entrance of the village, and a green mucus group appeared, about the size of a ball, with a strange light on the surface. As soon as the group appeared, Lem opened his mouth and his voice actually spoke in a self-tapping voice. Oh my, I finally waited for the support team of this university. You are so lucky to see the handsome and charming King Slime, Lord Slide. My mouth twitched. Handsome? Charming? You are a piece of green snot, how can you be confident? Ding! Successfully complained, unlocking the temporary ability, funny pace, effect, improve the ability to avoid it in a short time. The pace is funny but extremely flexible. The system sounded, and I hadn't been able to digest it yet, and Slide responded with a whisper, snot snot? How can you describe this big man in this kind of vulgar words? I am the value peak of the slime world, an idol of the funny town, and the mother slime who passed by will be moved when I see you. Lu Feng heard this and poked Slide with the sword. As a result, the sword fell into it and couldn't pull it out. He said, why is this thing sticky? Jianing passed by curiously, reached out and touched it. Wow, it's soft, cool, and it feels like a coconut. Slide, do you really feel you're so nice? As soon as Slide heard it, he shook his body proudly and made a gulp sound. Of course. The green color of Ben Dada is the essence of the forest. My mucus is a natural skincare product, and my shape is a perfect flow shape. Little girl, you have a good vision. Come, get close to the point, Ben Dada lets you feel my charm. I couldn't hear it anymore and complained, come on, if you blow it, you probably can blow yourself into a hot ball and fly away. Speaking of serious matters, how can I take you to Funtown? Is there any danger? Ding! The reward is +5 for the reward. The system sounds up, and Slide hummed disdainfully, danger? With this man here, who dares to come and find trouble? But some little sluts on the road may be jealous of my beauty. Try to take me away. You have to protect this man. Let's go out, don't waste time, fans of the funny town are waiting for me. I looked at Lu Feng and Jianing without saying a word, and said excitedly, okay, I'll leave after hearing this task. Let's finish it early and relieve it early. Let's go, take this piece of cake. Well, Lord Slide is on the way. So, the three of us, together with this from the verge of love to the extreme slime, officially embarked on the road to Funny Town. The roads in the strange world are as unreliable as ever. I said that some plants that can speak are popping up on the road from time to time, muttering in my mouth, hey, are you stepping on me? Human, it's far away. I'm already complaining, it's normal for nothing to be here anyway. Slide didn't stop talking along the way and said to himself, look, is the shadow of this big man particularly stylish? When the sun shines, I am simply a walking art. Alas, why don't you humans express me? Are you jealous? I rolled my eyes and said, what are you jealous of you? Can you stick to mosquitoes? Well, save some energy, don't be jealous of yourself after being eaten by the stinger on the road. Ding! The reward is a reward of +5. The system sounded, and Slide's body shook 3 times. Chico? This is a precious slime. I have to walk away when I see you. Humph, when you arrive in Funny Town, you will know how charming I am. Lu Feng walked in front, holding the sword and stumbled around, shouting in his mouth, "Look at me to open the way, and one sword will be as thorny as possible." As a result, he went down and cut off the branches next to him. The branches rolled back and sucked directly on his face, leaving a red mark. He screamed in pain. Why did this tree still hit someone? I complained helplessly, "Brother, your art is specially used for slander, right? Even cutting trees can be counterattacked. Do you, the master, buy it for money, right?" Ding! The complaint was successful, and the reward was +5. The system sounded, and Lu Feng slapped his head and smiled embarrassedly. Hee, I'm wrong, I'll cut it next time. There is a small path ahead, let's go there. Jianing was studying her magic behind her, and she muttered in her mouth, I'll try new methods, wind blades, and I should be able to clean up the grass on the road. As a result, a green light flashed over. Wind blade did not cut the grass, but instead rushed straight from Lu Feng's back. Lu Feng couldn't react and was blown to a stagger, almost falling into the mud pit on the road. Jianing. Your magic is aimed at teammates, right? Can you say it first next time? I'll hide far away. Lu Feng shouted with anger, his face full of mud. Jianing stuck out her tongue embarrassedly, Oh, I've lost control. Next time I will control the direction. But look, is the grass on the road blown a little? Is it a success? I was so angry, it's a big deal to succeed, I almost blew Lu Feng into a wind. Why are our teams won by 1 pit? Ding! Successfully complained, rewarded with energy +10. The system sounded, and Slide was gushing happily, Ha ha ha, you are so stupid. If I could magic, I would have cleaned the road. Alas, it's true that I still have to rely on my charm to lead the way. I was about to complain a few more words, suddenly there was a rustling sound from the grass on the road. Then several green monsters with sharp teeth jumped out and shouted in their mouths, Hee, slime smell. Brothers, take it off, and go back and drink it. When Slider heard this, Lima panicked and trembled, shouting, How dare you these low-level green monsters? My mucus is high-level ingredients, and you will have diarrhea after eating it. I looked at the green monsters and complained, Dimitation? This slime's self-deprecation is almost poisonous. After taking it, it will probably kill people. Ding! The complaint was successful, the funny pace effect was improved, the flash avoidance rate was +20%. The system sounded, and I jumped to the side with a subconscious mind. The pace was strange, as if I was dancing a funny dance, but I actually avoided the green monster's snatch. The monster was stunned and muttered, Why is this human being jumping like a toad? Lu Feng saw this and pulled the sword up and said, Look at me to solve you. As a result, it was a familiar drama again. He cut the empty sword and directly slashed on the stone beside him. The sparks were 4 times. His hands were numb and he screamed in pain, Hey, why is this stone harder than a monster? Jianing shouted from behind, I'll help you, Flame Art. A group of fireballs flew out, and did not hit the green monster, but instead exploded on the grass beside us, and the smoke spreaded, making me cough. Jianing, do you want to smoke us or enemies to death? Ding! The complaint was successful, the reward was +5. The system sounded, and I took advantage of the smoke and hid left and right with my funny steps. The green monster couldn't catch me. Slide shouted, Preserve this big man. My beauty cannot be defiled by these evil spirits. I came without a single blow, protect your head. At least you can resist, don't just behave yourself. As I said, I jumped behind the green monster with a funny step, and slammed the stone on the road with my hand. Unexpectedly, I really hit it and screamed. Lu Feng saw this and finally found a little confidence. He pulled out the sword and slashed again. This time he finally hit a green monster. Although he was just a trauma, he forced him to retreat. Jianning's magic continued to lose control, and the fireball flew everywhere, and it accidentally hit the other green monster's butt. The monster slammed in pain and shouted in his mouth, "Retreat! This is so evil to help people." The green monster scattered, and I sat on the ground with a heavy breath, complaining, "This battle is a simple funny show game. The three of us plus this slime will probably make the enemy laugh to death." Ding! Successfully complained, rewarded with energy plus 10. The system sounded, and Slide gushed displeasedly, "I laughed so hard. The charm of this big guy is not for funny. But, you are still in harmony, and you are worthy of the qualification to protect me." Lu Feng wiped his sweat and complained, "This slime's mouth is more poisonous than Ming. There are a few more monsters on the way, and I guess it will be killed by it." Jianing said happily, "It's okay, aren't we going to win? Besides, Funny Town is coming soon, and you can get a reward if you complete your mission." Sure enough, after walking for a short time, a small town appeared far away, and the sign at the entrance of the town reads "Funny Town, the most funny place in the whole world." The buildings in the town are strange in shape. Some houses look like big pumpkins, some like handstand boots, and pedestrians on the road are even more deserted. Some dogs in horse armor and pigs with wings. Everyone is laughing, as if they are getting a little laugh. As soon as Slider saw the town, Lima shook excitedly, "Ah, my fans, this big guy is back. Come and welcome your idol." As a result, no one in the town ignored it. Instead, a big guy looked at us and muttered, "I'm here to help us with another strange thing, probably it was a quilt again." I was about to ask what this big thing meant, but the cloud in the sky appeared again. Zihan's voice teased, "It's not wrong, the most tricky adventure group, I successfully sent Slide. I thought you would be killed by the green monster, but I didn't expect that I could beat you. I didn't say anything, if you can make a fuck, you're all about luck on the road. You don't have a good intention in this mission at all. What's the purpose? Don't tell me that it's really about giving this self-deprecating slime." Ding! Successfully complained, rewarded with energy plus 10. The system sounded, and Zihan smiled, "Smart. Protecting Slide is just a cover. The real purpose is to test the tacit understanding of the three of you. Although you cut off one by one, one by one, one by one, and one by one with a sarcastic tongue, you can actually solve the problem by mistake. I admire this strange tacit understanding." Lu Feng heard this and Lima was dissatisfied. "What is cutting the empty space? I was a strategic mistake. Besides, if I didn't attract firepower, you were already caught by the green monster." Jianing pouted and said, "My magic is not all a mistake." At least he was burning a weird butt. Is it a result? I felt helpless and angry. Okay, just tacit understanding, what about the reward? Don't tell me that it's a kind of broken boots again. Zihan raised his eyebrows on his face and said, "Of course there are rewards. Each person has a Funny Town specialty gift bag. If you have anything in it, open it and see it for yourself. In addition, I would like to remind you that the next task is much more difficult than that. The Violent Pig Rider group is not something you can do, just prepare it." After speaking, the clouds disappeared, and 3 small packages fell from the sky and fell to our feet. I picked up one and opened it, and there was a funny pig-nosed hat inside. After putting it on, it would make a humph sound. My mouth twitched. "This prize, it's really his cat's style." Slides gusted from the side, "Humph, no matter how good the prize is, it is not as charm as the one in the big country. Okay, the gift is over, you can leave, I'm going to see the fans." As he said, it jumped into the town, leaving the 3 of us to stand up in the wind. Lu Feng put on a pig's nose hat and hummed twice, which caused a hilarious surprise among passers-by. He said embarrassedly, "Why does this hat have sound effects? Wearing it to fight the Pigs Rider group will probably make the other party laugh." Jianing put on her hat happily and hummed a little song. "I think it's very fun. Ming, you wear one too. Let's hum together, let's see who looks like pigs the most." I rolled my eyes and complained without any effort, like a pig. We three are already like each other, are you still using a hat to prove it? Ding! The complaint was successful, and the reward was +5. The system sounded, and I looked at the strange scene of the funny town far away, and I couldn't feel a bad premonition in my heart. The next task Zihan said is the Violent Pig Rider Group, and hearing a name is not a good thing to mess with. The strange land, it really won't be able to calm down in a day. My name is Ming, and I just sent away a bunch of slime slide, who had been so angry that he had lost his life in the funny town of Weihua. I got a few pig nose hats that would hum as a bonus. Before we could catch our breath, the cloud manager Zihan in the sky emerged again, raised his eyebrows, and his words were filled with teasing. 1. The task of maintenance is completed. Quite funny. But don't be too early, the next thing is not to be careless. Be prepared to welcome the challenge of the Brain Forest. When I heard the name Brain Forest, I felt unfavorable and couldn't help but complain. Brain Forest? It sounds like a place that will short-circuit people's brains. Are you sure you dug another hole and wait for us to jump? Ding! The reward is +5 for the reward. The system sounded, and Zihan's face laughed. My mouth is still so poisonous. Don't worry, this mission is very simple. Go to the Brain Forest to find a Tuji sacrifice, saying that eating it can double your ability to complain. There are many life-saving skills on the way home, right? The location is on the north side of Funny Town, and there are magazines at the entrance of the forest. Don't go wrong. Lu Feng heard it and stood up, patted his chest and said, "It's just a fruit, it's simple. Look at our master Lu Feng, who cuts through the forest and takes you straight to the goal." As he said, he also swept the broken sword, and accidentally poked the pig-nosed hat of a passerby next to him, causing a humph sound and hilariousness. Jianingyan's eyes lit up, and he held the staff in his hand. Tuzzle the sacred fruit? It's amazing to hear it. Maybe I can use it to improve magic and create a magic that is not out of control. Ming, let's go out quickly. I rolled my eyes and said helplessly, improve magic? You don't blow your own people first. Okay, just look for fruits. Anyway, this broken land will not be able to calm down for a day, so let's finish it early and remove it early. So, the three of us wore funny pig's nose hats and set off from the north gate of Funny Town and headed towards the Brain Forest. The scenery on the road is as usual. There are stones that can sing and sunflowers with human faces on the road. They shouted to us, "Hey, have you paid for the over-the-road fee?" I took it upon myself and complained, "Over-the-road fee? Why don't you just rob? A flower still wants to learn to help you." Ding! The complaint was successful, the reward for the complaint energy +5. The system sounded, and the sunflower was so angry that the petals trembled, and she muttered, "This human mouth is too poisonous, forget it, don't mess with him." After saying that, he turned over and pretended not to see us. Lu Feng saw this and said happily, "Minghua, your mouth is really a magical tool. You can repel the other party wherever you go. With you, we don't need to fight at all, we can just talk and get along." I replied without any worries, "It's a big deal. I just want to go home. Who knows if this fruit can really help you?" That guy Zihan, I didn't say what pitfalls he had hidden. After about half a minute of leaving, a forest finally appeared far away. A crooked wooden sign stood at the entrance, which read, "The forest of the brain is upside down. Empty your brain before going in, otherwise the consequences will be borne." A smile was also painted next to the sign, and he was very worried. Jianing said curiously, "How can the rules fall down? What does it mean? Is it difficult for trees to fly and birds to climb?" I complained, "It's not surprising that trees will fly in this broken place. Maybe I can talk to you about two-life philosophy." Ding! Successfully complained, rewarded the reward for energy +5. The system sounded, and the voice fell. A big tree next to it suddenly rose up with a click sound. The tree cracked a big mouth and shouted, "Hey, boy, who said I would talk about philosophy? I'm a patrol tree in the Brain Forest. If you come in, you have to get in front of me." My brain veins leapt, patrol trees? Are there all the trees here used as security guards? Okay, why are you wrong? If you say it, don't tell me that you can talk about philosophy with you. The big tree laughed and the branches swayed, light. But I don't talk about philosophy. My requirements are simple: guess a verbal, let you in if you guess correctly, leave it as fertilizer if you guess wrong. After hearing it, the blame is, what is the less you use, but it will never be used up. Lu Feng heard this and Lima replied, I know, it's gold coins. It's gone, but I can always make money. The big tree slammed the branches and made a sound, error. You can use up the gold coins, but you can't do this. Guess. Jianing thought about it with her head tiltedly, and said in a short voice, is it time? The more you use it, the less you use it, but there will always be a new time? The tree slammed again, error. Time is abstract, I'm talking about real things. In the last chance, don't go in if you don't guess right. When I looked at the tree, my brain turned and complained, what a saying, it's just a difficult person. I think your brain has been flooded with water. It's not even a clue, so let's guess. Ding! Successfully complained, rewarded the reward in energy plus 10. The system sounded, and the big tree heard it, and it was so angry that several pieces of the leaves fell off. You are sour. Forget it, I don't know you as much as you do. It's soap, the smaller the soap, but I can always buy new ones. Humph, go in, don't be angry with me anymore. The three of us looked at each other and couldn't help laughing. Lu Feng patted my shoulder, Mingxuan, you are still hurt. You can let go of your mouth, awesome. I said, what awesome, the creatures here are more bizarre than the other. They may even save some energy. Let's go in and find the sacred things to complain about, don't waste time this time. As I stepped into the brain forest, I felt a sense of disagreement. There was a sweet smell in the air, and the grass under the feet was as soft as a fruit, and it would make a bobo sound when you stepped on it. The light in the forest is also very strange. It is clearly during the day, but it is as dark as the sunset, with shadows swaying, which makes people look at it. What's more, the trees in this forest really walk. We had just walked a few steps, and a tree that was tall was crossing the tree roots, passing by swayingly, and humming a small song in our mouths. Come on, patrol it, it's nothing, go back and sleep. We ignored our existence at all. Jianing was stunned, this tree will really leave. Ming, you just complained and said it was right. I said helplessly, that's a big deal, I'd rather guess it's wrong. The rules here are so bad. Who knows, there is something else waiting for us, so be careful. Lu Feng was shattered and filled his face with a full face. No matter what the rules are, let's go in and retreat when you find the sacred fruit. Look at me opening the way. As he said, he slashed at the bush beside him, and the bush belle suddenly screamed, hey, who cut me down? It hurts so much. Then, the bush actually jumped up and rushed towards Lu Feng, and the branches sucked like whips. Lu Feng hid in a hurry and shouted in his mouth, what's this thing? Can the bushes still fight? Didn't I just chop them up? Why are you still getting revenge? As a result, he accidentally hit a stone under his feet and fell a dog to bite the mud. The bushes took advantage of the opportunity to suck his butt for a few times, making him scream in pain. As I watched this scene, I couldn't help but complain, Lu Feng, your site technician's name is specially used to cut plants, right? You can cut everything and help me cut the sky directly? Ding! The reward is rewarded with energy plus 5. The system sounded, and Lu Feng got up and rubbed his butt and complained, dare you just laugh at me tomorrow? Please think about what to do. This bush hurts. Jianing was trying to cast a spell next to him, I'll help you, Icecraft. As a result, a blue light flashed over. The Icecraft did not sink the bush, but instead sank Lu Feng's foot. He stood up and turned into an ice sculpture, and shouted in his mouth, Jian Ning. You're out of control again. I'm almost dead. I was so excited, sister, your magic is specially used to trick teammates, right? Now, the enemy has no choice but to kill him, and I will die first. Ding! The reward is plus 5 for the reward. The system sounded, and the bush saw it, and it stopped and made a giggle laugh. Ha ha ha, it's so fun for you to help people. Beat yourself. I see you laughing, forget it, don't suck it. After saying that, it walked staggeringly, leaving the three of us to the spot. I helped to smash the ice on Lu Feng's feet and complained, our team is simply a mobile funny group, and even the bushes can be laughed at by us. Okay, don't cause trouble anymore, be nervous about finding the sacred fruit. Continue to walk deeper into the forest, and there are more and more strange things. There were cute little monsters on the road, with big eyes wide open, blinking us, and shouting, "Big brother and sister, hug you." As a result, as soon as we approached, they showed their fangs and tried to bite us. Lu Feng couldn't help but want to be a hero again, so he rushed up and said, "Look at me, poking you to death." As a result, a slap cuts away again, poking into the trees beside him, and the trees still wailed, "Hey, it's me again, why do you always kill me?" Jianing tried to use magic to drive, but the fireball was out of control and burned a grassland, attracting more cute monsters, and yelled at us, "It's so hot, hug it to reduce the temperature." I looked at the group, my head was big, and complained, "Can you calm down? One cuts away, the other burns your own people. This forest has not ruined us, but you have been crazy first." Ding! Successfully complained, unlocking new abilities, reverse ridicule, effect. When complaining about enemies, there is a probability of attracting enemies' sisters-in-law and reducing their fighting power. The system sounded, and I was stunned. Stand up and shouted to the little monsters, "Hey, you are the cute monsters in this group, each one is more ugly than the other. Don't hug them, go back and take a look at the mirror. Who will hug you with such virtue?" As the voice fell, several monsters suddenly turned around and began to point at each other. "You are so sad, your eyes are like beans. You are even more sad, your teeth are like lenses." Then, they actually started fighting on their own, biting each other, completely forgot about our existence. Lu Feng was stunned. "Ming-Chi, why can you still make a secret sister-in-law in your mouth? This skill is so awesome." I said, "What awesome? It's purely because the weirdness of this forest is so weird. The brain circuit is different from that of normal people. Let's go while they fight and don't cause trouble." With the help of reverse ridicule, we hid many little monsters along the way and finally came to the deep forest. A huge ancient tree stands in the center, with a golden flash of fruit hanging on the tree crown, radiating a scent of inspiring people. There are several monkeys with long wings around them, shouting in their mouths, "The saints are ours, whoever comes to beat them." Jianning's eyes lit up, "That's just complaining about the sacred fruits. It looks so bad, let's take it down quickly." Lu Feng wanted to tell the story, "Look at me splitting the monkey with one shot." As a result, he was knocked down by a vine under his foot, and he fell to the sky, causing the monkeys to laugh at him. "Haha, I can't even walk well, and you still want to win the saints?" I looked at this scene and complained, "Lu Feng, are you here to give monkeys a joke? If you fall a few more times, I guess they will be able to laugh to death, so we don't have to beat them." Ding! Successfully complained, and the reverse ridicule was mocking. The system sounded, and sure enough, the monkeys heard my words and began to laugh at each other. "Why are you laughing? Your tail is stupider than him. You are stupid, your wings are like chicken hair." Then, they started to beat themselves, scratched their ears and cheeks, and ignored us at all. I took the opportunity to shout, "Jianing, Lu Feng, don't be stunned, go pick the fruit." Lu Feng got up, never fell down again, and rushed under the tree. Jianing used magic to force him to lift him up to the sacred fruit. A few monkeys wanted to turn back and stop us, but the sisters-in-law was too intense and could not stop us. Lu Feng picked the sacred fruit and shouted, "I got it. Ming, your complaints are so amazing." I took the fruit of the golden sausage and heard the fragrance. I couldn't help but complain, "This fruit looks pretty. Don't tell me that I'll have diarrhea after eating it." Zihan's guy didn't specify it. Ding! Successfully complained, rewarded with energy +10. The system sounded, and the voice fell, and Zihan, the cloud face in the sky, appeared again, and he laughed. It's not wrong, the most tricky adventure group, even the Brain Cave Forest can pass through. If you get the sacred fruit, you have some ability. But, to be honest, I can't stand your clumsy behavior. I replied without any worries, what's wrong with clumsy? At least the mission has been completed. Let's say, what's the use of this fruit? Also, you always cheat us, what are you going to do? Zihan raised his eyebrows on his face, and his language was filled with a mysterious slightest. As a fruit, it can definitely enhance his ability to complain after eating it, and try the specific effect yourself. As for what we are going to draw, tell you a little secret. The way home of the strange land is related to a guy called King of Weirds. If you want to go back, you have to find him. Of course, the road is still long, let's play slowly. As soon as I heard it, my brain buzzed. The King of Weirds? It's not a good deal to mess with me. You can't give me a direct guide, and I have to let us get in trouble? Zihan laughed. Sign up the way? That's so meaningless. The fun of the strange world lies in the accident. Although the tacit understanding between the three of you is strange, it has potential. There are even more challenges waiting for you next. Okay, I won't say much. Eat the sacred fruit, I'll notify you of the future mission. The clouds disappeared, and I looked at the complaints in my hand inside, the King of Weird. This name hurts when I hear it. Forget it, eat the fruit first and see if I can untie more skills. It's definitely not stronger than nothing. Lu Feng rubbed his hands and said, then let's eat it together? One bite of each person. Maybe I can also untie the ability to complain and become a whispering master. Jianing pointed, good idea. Come on, try it with a bite. I looked at them and said helplessly, okay, just divide it. Don't eat your stomach until you lose your stomach. We can't even get out of the forest. I took a bite of the sacred fruit, and the flesh was so sweet that it was heard in my brain. Ding. Swallow the sacred fruit, the ability to complain is enhanced, the reverse ridicule effect is improved, and the new effect is added. There is a probability of touching the group ridicule when complaining, affecting all enemies within the scope. I grinned and said, this effect is quite good. When I encounter monsters on the way back, I guess I can just talk and slap in groups. Let's go, don't stay in this broken forest, my brain is almost broken by the rules. Lu Feng and Jianing also took a bite. Although they did not have the system blessing, they looked much more energetic. The three of us returned along the way, and the monsters in the forest were still inside and had no time to pay attention to us. It seems that the effect of this complaint about the sacred results is really useful. My name is Mingxuan. I just got the tribute of the sacred fruit in the brain forest. With this thing, I improved my sacred ability and unblocked the effect of group ridicule. Lu Feng and Jianing also shared a bite of fruit. Although there was no system blessing, their spirits improved a lot. The three of us walked out of the forest where the rules were falling and finally returned to Funny Town. The residents in the town are still so weird. There are dogs wearing Western clothes selling skewers on the road, and pigs with long wings are singing in the air. I have become accustomed to this ridiculous scene of breaking the mainland and I have to complain about it again. Just as he was about to find a place to rest, the familiar cloud in the sky emerged again. Zihan's voice brought a teasing, single, the most tricky group, how are the sacred fruits eaten? Is the mouth even more poisonous? Don't be idle, I have a new mission here, which is guaranteed to open your eyes. I rolled my eyes and replied without any worries, open your eyes? Another pitfall, right? Tell me, what are you doing this time? Don't tell me what self-deprecating monsters are you sending me. Ding! The reward is +5 for the reward. The system sounds up, and Zihan laughed, the mouth is indeed a bit poisonous. Don't worry, this time I don't have the gift, I will arrange a thrilling thing for you to go to the strange competition field to participate in the challenge. As long as you defeat 3 opponents, you can get the strange king and get one step closer to get home. What's the case? Or not? Lu Feng heard it and stood up and shouted in a broken sword, a competition venue? Hearing blood. Look at our master Lu Feng, who is the master of drama, and he beats all the opponents. As a result, his hand shook, and the tip of the sword poked the pig-nosed hat of the passerby next to him, causing a humph sound and hilariousness. Jiang Yan's eyes lit up, and he tilted his staff and said, "Challenge? There must be a prize. I may get magic materials, and I am just about to try a new magic. Ming, let's go." I sighed and said helplessly, "Okay, I don't have anything else to do if I don't take over the task. Xian, where's the competition venue? Also, these 3 opponents are the ones that can walk or self-speaking slime." Xian raised his eyebrows on his face and said, "The competition venue is right next to the funny town, which is easy to find. There's a big sign at the entrance that writes strange competition venue. You have to smile when you go. As for your opponent, you will know when you go, and you will be sure to open your brain. Remember, if you win, you have a thread, and if you go, prepare for the mascot of the competition venue." Yun's face disappeared, and I looked at Lu Feng and Jianing and complained, "Mascot? This guy wants us to go and let's take a look, right? Forget it, go, no matter how far away the competition venue is, it is better than watching the pigs that will fly in this town." Ding! Successfully complained, rewarded with energy +5. The system sounded, and the 3 of us set out along the east road. We saw a huge circular building, like an open-air sports venue. The entrance sign really read strange competition venue. You have to smile when you lose it. A pig with a clown hat was also painted next to it, and she smiled so hard that she deserved a beating. The competition venue was so popular that all kinds of strange creatures were sitting in the audience, including rabbits with long horns, trees that would applaud, and cats holding smoke. Everyone was shouting, "Go on! I want to watch a joke." There was a huge circular ring in the center of the venue, with 3 signs standing around the ring, writing First War, Second War and Third War. It seemed that they were the 3 opponents we were going to challenge. As we stepped into the competition venue, a referee in a clown suit jumped out and shouted with a loudspeaker, "Welcome the new challenger, the most pitiful adventure team. Today you will face the challenge of opening the brain holes in the 3 fields, win the prize, and win. When we are on the groundwork for the competition venue. Are you ready? The first battle begins soon." Lu Feng held the sword and looked confident. "What are you ready for?" "I can fight anytime." "Come on, who is the first opponent? Let's see if I solve it." As a result, his foot slipped and almost fell into the mud pit on the ring, which caused the audience to burst into laughter. I helped my wife and complained, "Brother, can you not always be knocked down by your stomp? If you fall a few more times, you will probably be laughed to death by you before you even get on the scene." Ding! Successfully complained, rewarded with energy +5. The system sounded, and the referee blew a whistle and shouted, "First War, opponents will come to the stage." Spinning Euro Bull. This guy is a regular soldier in the competition field. He is good at using rotating collision to hit the opponent. "Challenger, take the move." As the voice fell, a huge black cow popped up from the other side of the ring, with a pair of spiral horns on its head, red lights in its eyes, and a mouth shouted, "Moo! This cow is here, who dares to slam me, I will swing you." As it said, it lowered its head and began to swing wildly, like a huge top, towards us, and the ground on the ring was hit with dust. Lu Feng saw this, and the steed horse rushed forward and shouted, "Look at me to chop you off." I thought to myself that this guy was going to cut the empty again, but this time he was even more distant. He stepped on the small stone on the ring, his body lost balance, and he carried the sniper forward together, and the tip of the sniper actually hit the butt of the spiral Euro Bull. "Moo!" The cow screamed, and the speed of its rotation suddenly lost control. It seemed like it was drunk, and it stumbled into the edge of the ring. Finally, it slammed out of the field with a bang sound, smashed into the mud pit next to the audience, covered in mud, and shouted in his mouth, "This is unfair. I was actually eliminated by poking my butt." The audience was stunned at first, and immediately burst into a deafening laugh. "Ha ha ha, poke your butt. This move is so extreme. The most tricky adventure group is indeed unfair." The referee also couldn't stand up with his back, holding the speaker, and announced, "The first battle is the most tricky adventure group, Although it was a bit, weird, but the result is the result, and I applaud you. Lu Feng got up and slammed his face in awkward manner. The mistake was wrong. I didn't expect it to hit it. Ming, why are you doing this? I'm using this move? I complained without saying, don't you, you're so lucky, it's purely the result of a fall. Come again, I guess you can poke yourself. Ding! The reward is rewarded with energy +5. The system sounded, and Jia Ning clapped his hands happily. Lu Feng, although your move is awesome, it works. After the first battle is easy, let's continue to cheer. The referee wiped his eyes and finally stopped laughing, shouting, don't be too early, the second battle will begin soon. The opponent will come on the stage, explosive bubble fish. This guy will spit out bubbles with explosive effects. Challengers, be careful not to be blown into black charcoal. On the other side of the ring, a large fish jumped out of the sink, covered with 5 colors of flakes, and a string of bubbles puffed from their mouths. Each bubble was sparking with small sparks, floating in the air, looking very dangerous. It shouted, come on, the bubbles of my fish are not something you can play with, it makes you look for your teeth. When Jianing saw this guy, he became interested in it and put his staff on his back, saying, bubble? It looks fun. If I try new magic, I might break its move. My heart skipped a beat and I hurriedly reminded, sister, don't lose control, it's not worth it to blow up your own people. Before he could finish his sentence, Jianing had already started chanting the spell, the flames rushed the waves, burning you. A red light shot out from the staff, and it was supposed to be directly slamming the bubble fish. Who knew that it was out of control halfway? The flames turned a splash and hit a bunch of bubbles in the air. Bang bang bang. The explosion sounded like a continuous explosion, and the smoke spread. The bubble fish was burned black by its bubbles, and a wailing sound came out. Oh, why did my bubbles explode myself? Then, the sound of bang bang fell back to the sink and finally passed. The whole scene was hilarious again, and the audience shouted, self-exploding fish. It's so funny. This magician is the opponent's bottom. The referee covered his stomach and announced, the second battle is the most pitiful adventure team. Although it's a mistake again, if you win, it's a reward, it's a disaster. I looked at Jianing, who was proud and a little embarrassed, and complained, sister, your magic is specially used to trick enemies, right? I guess I don't understand how I am now. Ding! The complaint was successful, the reward for the complaint energy +5. The system sounded, and Jianing stuck out her tongue embarrassedly, it's a bit out of control, but the result is good. Mingxuan, the third battle is handed over to you, let's get the cable quickly. The referee pointed his head and shouted with a loudspeaker, okay, the third battle, the opponent of the axle is on the stage roaring lion. The roar of this guy can shake people's eardrums, and can also pick opponents in language. Challengers, be prepared to take action. Opposite the ring, a golden lion walked up with a big blow, and his hair was shaking as if it was being ejected. His mouth was filled with a roar. This lion is the king of the competition field. Do you dare to challenge me like this, helper? After hearing it, my roar can make you fools, and my language can make you vomit blood. Come on, who will go first? The roar was indeed awesome, which made my ears buzz. Lu Feng covered his ears and shouted, why is this guy's voice so big? Ming, why do you try it first? I'm afraid my sword will be yelled before I lift it up. Jianing also pointed, yes, my magic probably won't be able to blow it up, but you're here, your mouth is worse than us. I whispered helplessly and walked up to complain, roaring lion? How come you hear your voice? Why do you look like a mother selling vegetables in a vegetable market? No matter how loud you yell, it can't hide your erotic hair like a chicken. Ding! The complaint was successful, the group mockery effect was touched, and the new ability was unlocked, mouth cannon explosion, effect. There is a probability that when complaining, it will cause mental shock, which will directly weaken the enemy's fighting power. The system sounded, and the roaring lion heard my words, making his eyes red, and he roared, what are you saying? Chicken? The hair of this lion is the king's style, do you understand it? Look, I won't yell at you to death. Its mouth was roaring again, and the sound waves were coming like real waves. I subconsciously relied on the previous funny pace. Although the pace was as funny as dancing, I just avoided the shock. The audience burst into laughter. Ha, this kind of human being jumps like a monkey. You can still hide from roars so funny, terrifying. I took the opportunity to continue my mouth and said, the wind of the king? Come on, your wind is mostly a broken fan that blows your hair. If you yell, it will be useless to yell and break your throat. It sounds like the Tuhaka next door, and you will lose your face? Ding! Successfully complained, the mouth cannon exploded and started. The system sounded, and the roaring lion heard this, as if it was poked and hurt, and he was so angry that he jumped in place. His roar was all the time, you. I'm so angry that I'm fighting with you. As a result, it was too angry, and it stepped on the air, fell down all 4 feet, and was still shouting in his mouth, unfair. The lion was blown away. The audience laughed so hard that they were slacking off their seats, and some even laughed and rolled down from their seats, shouting, I'm so angry. This verbal cannon is so poisonous. The most terrible adventure group is so funny. The referee covered his stomach and announced, the third battle is so hard to win. The verbal cannon is blasting, and the reputation is unfair, and the 3 battles are all won. Congratulations on your victory. Lu Feng and Jianing came over and patted my shoulder excitedly. Lu Feng shouted, Ming, your mouth is so amazing. You can overturn the lion with just one mouth, awesome. Jianing said happily, that's right, the skill of mouth blasting is too strong. In the future, we don't need to move when encountering enemies. You just open your mouth and finish it. I wiped my sweat and complained, I'm so strong, I feel so good at speaking. My legs are almost cramped when I avoided the roar. The opponents in this competition field left one by one. I won the win, but I won too much, right? Ding! Successfully complained, rewarded with energy plus 10. The system sounded, and the audience's laughter continued. The cloud-faced Zihan in the sky also appeared, and his language was full of joking. It's not wrong, the most tricky adventure team, the 3 battles were all won. Although the victory was so ugly that people wanted to cover their eyes, the result was the result. I gave you a try. Especially Ming, I admire the trick of the verbal blasting, and you have contracted the laughter in the competition venue. I replied with no pride, what's wrong with the ugly? Just win it. Let's say, where's the rope of the King of Weird? Don't fool us with some torn boots, pig-nose hats. Zihan laughed, don't worry, the thread will definitely be given. I've heard that the King of Weird is hiding in this final trial land in the mainland. I won't reveal the specific location. After all, the fun of weird lies in the accident. However, I'll tell you a tip, the entrance to the small is related to laugh, so be careful. Next, continue to work hard, and maybe you can see that big boss directly in the next task. The clouds flashed and the referee gave us a small roll of rolls, which read the tip. Zihan said, finally, the entrance is related to laughter. I looked at the rolls and sighed, laughter? This broken rope is like this. The strange world is full of laughter. How can I find it? Lu Feng said happily, no matter how you find it, we have won it anyway, and our abilities have become stronger. I think the tacit understanding of the 3 of us is getting better and better. Although one loses the wrestling wins, one loses control wins, and one loses his mouth, it doesn't matter at least. Jianing pointed out, yes, the tacit understanding has improved a lot. Ming, your complaints are getting worse and worse. Although my magic is still out of control, it at least hits people. Lu Feng. Well, the wrestling is also very powerful. We continue to work hard, and maybe we can really find our way home. I looked at them and couldn't help but complain, tiger understanding? This is called Taisier understanding? This is obviously a weird and extremely exciting opportunity. Okay. But forget it, if you can win one, it's still a long way to go home. Who knows what pitfalls Zihan has hidden? Ding! The complaint was successful, and the reward was +5. The system sounded, and the audience at the competition were still smiling and discussing our strange battle results. The three of us left the arena and prepared to go back to the funny town to rest. Although the three wars were all over, this process was so funny that I had a sensation in my heart. In the end, it would probably be a bigger joke scene. A strange land, it really won't be able to calm down in a day. My name is Mingxuan. I won the 3 battles in a funny competition in the Weipao competition and got the lead about the King of Weipao. The entrance to the final test is related to laughter. Although this search doesn't sound the same, our most tricky adventure group still decides to continue. After all, there was nothing good to stop at a broken place in Weipao mainland, and maybe I would be dragged to chat by the stones on the road. Over the past few days, the 3 of us heard the laughing line from Funny Town. After a while, we asked, and the answers from residents in the town were one by one. The dog in the west said, "Smile. Go to the Giggle Valley in the west, the chickens there are laughing all day long." The pig with long wings hummed, "No, no, the Haha Lake east is the land, and the lake water will burst into laughter." Finally, a large sweep land gave a little remarkable remark. He pointed to a tower north of the town and muttered, "If you want to find a place related to laughing, go to the Wild Tower to have a look. I heard that every floor in the tower is full of jokes. Those who come in are either laughed to death or are angry to death, and no one can remain true." I looked at the tall tower far away. The tower body was crooked, like a pile of piles of wood, with colorful smoke at the top, and there was a strange ha-ha-ha laughter coming from time to time, which made people's head numb. I just told me that the place designated was another pit dug by Zihan, but I still couldn't help but complain, the Tower of Sacred? This name is not a real place when I hear it. I guess I can make people laugh like a fool if I go in. Ding! Successfully complained, rewarded the reward for the energy +5. The system sounded, and Lu Feng heard it. He stood up and swung his chest and patted his chest. "No matter whether it smiles or not, who are we, the most tricky adventure group? Look at our master Lu Feng, who broke the tower with a sword, found the king of weirdness, and sent Mingxuan home. As a result, he broke the sword, and accidentally cut the pig-nosed hat of a passerby next to him, which caused a hum sound and hilariousness." Jianningyan's eyes lit up, and he tilted his staff and said, "The place of laughter? It's fun to hear it. Maybe there are some magical materials in the tower that can keep my magic from getting out of control. Ming, let's go quickly." I was helpless and angry. Okay, there is no other threat anyway. The Tower of Waste is the Tower of Waste, which is stronger than watching the flying pigs in this town. Let's go into the tower and take a look, and I might really find my way home. So, the 3 of us set out towards the tall tower in the north. When I got closer, I saw that the tower was indeed not simple. There was a broken sign standing at the entrance of the tower door, which read, "The Tower of Desolation is a place where the land is trying to get laughter, and the weird ones are the king. Those who enter the tower will have their IQ outside the door, otherwise they will humiliate themselves." A grinning skull was painted next to the sign, and they smiled so hard that they were particularly angry. Lu Feng looked at the sign and slammed his head. "Don't you abandon your IQ? What does it mean? Is it difficult to become a fool first when you go in?" I rolled my eyes and complained, "Become a fool? You didn't need to change it at first, you're already stupid." This brand is probably saying, "Don't bring normal logic when you go in, otherwise you won't even be criticized by the weird rules inside." Ding! Successfully complained, rewarded the reward for the energy +5. The system sounded, and the voice fell, and the tower door suddenly opened with a squeak, and a strange laugh came from it. "Ha ha ha, new, come in, this tower has been waiting for you for a long time." The sound of the sound was so strange that I heard a slight sound, but my feet still didn't stop, and I walked in with Lu Feng and Jianning. As soon as I stepped into the tower, the scene in front of me made me doubt my life. There is a row of skulls standing in the center of the first floor, wearing a torn styling, holding a microphone in his hands, humming pop songs in his mouth, singing so much that it can sing in people's ears. There was also a sign hanging on the top of the hall, writing, "The first level challenge," comparing the voice with the skeleton. "The winners go upstairs, and the winners stay to sing together." Lu Feng was stunned and pointed to the skeletons and said, "Compare the voice? What's the point? Do we have to compare singing with this helping to sing?" Jianingye covered her ears and muttered in a low voice, "They sing too hard to hear. This tune is comparable to my magic loss." I watched the scene and couldn't help but complain, "By the throat? This helps the skeleton's throat is bone, and there are also faces singing? This challenge is to make us laugh to death." Ding! The complaint was successful, the complaint system was fully upgraded, and the new ability was unlocked, ultimately Savage Tongue, effect. When complaining, it not only weakens the enemy's fighting power, but also improves the spirit and ability of his alchemy in a short time, covering the entire team. The system sounded, and I was stunned. I felt that there was a force in my brain, and the movements on my mouth were much stronger. At this time, the skull with his head stopped singing and walked over with a McFish. The green light shone in his empty eyes, and shouted to us, "Hey, new ones, don't just complain, come on, compete with us. The rules are simple: who has a loud voice, who can pass through the other party, even if you win. Those who have lost their voices are left as a chorus and will always sing with us." As soon as Lu Feng heard this, Lima confessed to the courageous man, "By the throat? Come. My voice is so loud. When I was a child, everyone in the village called me to loudspeakers." As he said, he shouted, and the sound was as if it were a male chicken to hit a bird. The skeleton laughed, "What's the throat? It's worse than the bone dog next to my house." I slammed helplessly and opened my mouth to try my last Savage Tongue with the newly unblocked. "Come on, you help the skeleton like singing like a wooden head, and you are still embarrassed to laugh at someone? Why don't you take a look at the mirror first and see if you have a throat before you challenge it, so as to save your face from being shattered?" Ding! The skeleton's tongue finally moved, the skeleton's atmosphere decreased, the skeleton's atmosphere increased, Lu Feng's voice volume was plus 30%. The system sounded, and the skeleton's bones were indeed shaking by my anger. The skeleton's heir on the head shouted in a hurry, You are so poisonous. Brothers, when singing, don't let this person look down on me." So, their mouths were terrified again, and the sound was so loud that the tower wall was shaking. Lu Feng was blessed by the military spirit, and his voice suddenly burst out. He shouted a folk song that he didn't know where it came from. The sound actually overwhelmed the skeletons, which shocked them to lose several of their microphones. Jianing was helping her voice next to her. Although her voice was small, she actually used magic to create a small sound wave, which made Lu Feng's voice amplify again. The skeleton head saw the situation and stomped his feet in anger. "Impossible. How can you make you louder than us? We are professional." As a result, the voice was exerted, and the sound broke the sound, which caused the companion to laugh. "Head, your voice is too bad." As soon as the sisters-in-law came out, their voice became weaker. Finally, the referee skeleton announced helplessly, "The first level challenge is the most pitiful adventure team. His voice is so loud that he can go to the second floor. Don't be angry with us anymore." After saying that, they retreated to the corner in shame, muttering to train their throats. Lu Feng patted his chest proudly. "How is it?" "My throat is okay. Mingqi, when you open your mouth, I feel my throat getting thicker, it's so bad." I rolled my eyes and said, "I'm so bad," I yelled like a pig, almost shaking my ears. "Let's go, don't waste time, maybe there's something else to leave on the second floor waiting." Stepping onto the second floor, we were greeted by a large hall full of ancient stone tablets. Each stone tablet was engraved with questions, and there was a stone statue that could speak, and he muttered, "The second level challenge to solve the questions that would complain. If you answer the 3 questions, go upstairs, answer 1 question wrong, accept the complaints and punishments of this statue, and ensure that you are doubtful of life." Jianing passed by curiously and read the question on the first stone tablet, "What has 4 legs, so you can't walk?" She thought tiltedly and said, "Is it a table?" "The table has 4 legs, but it won't move." The stone statue heard it, and stood up and slapped the head, and made a sound, "Error. The answer is that 2 people stand together, of course they have 4 legs, but they won't walk together." Oh, little girl, your brain is slowly moving. Go back and drink more brain juice to replenish it. As soon as this complaint came out, Jianing's face was red, and she was so angry that she stomped her feet. What brain juice? I won't drink it. I looked at the statue and couldn't help but open my mouth. Come on, do you still have the nerve to complain about someone with a broken stone? I haven't moved for a few hundred years, so why don't I walk? The question is like a brain in the water, why don't I read it yourself? Ding! The tongue finally started to move, the spirit of the stone statue decreased, and the spirit of our own side solved the problem plus 20%. The system sounded, and the stone statue was so angry that the stone statue had cracked its face, and muttered in its mouth, "Why are your human mouths so poisonous?" Forget it, the next question, it depends on whether you can answer yes. The second question is, what is the more you wash it, the more you become dirty? Lu Feng replied, I know, it's water. When washing things, you will suck the dirty things in, and you will become dirty. This time he answered, and the statue hummed unwillingly, Humph, you are so good at being good at it. The third question is, you have heard it well, what is a head without a tail, and eye without eyebrows? As soon as my brain turned, Lima thought of the answer with the help of the spirit, it's a fish. The fish has a head, no tail, no eyes, no eyebrows. The statue heard it and shook, yes, yes. How did you answer so quickly? No, I have to complain about a few sentences to explain the atmosphere. Do you help people look at yourself in the tower? Do you not take a mirror to see yourself? I heard it, and Lima responded, don't you? We have faces at least. Your stone head is carved like a ghost talisman, and you still have the nerve to say it. I'll block your mouth or not, and I'll make you a stone statue. Ding! The savage tongue finally moved, the stone statue's atmosphere collapsed, and the additional reward, jump over and complain and punish. The system sounded, and the stone statue was so angry that it closed its mouth directly, and said helplessly, okay, you've been shut up, don't be angry with me anymore, go to the third floor. My heart of stone is almost broken by you. Lu Feng and Jianing pushed me with a thumbs up, and Lu Feng said happily, Ming, your mouth is a true god, and you can even break the stone head. This is so savage tongue that it is so strong. Jianing also pointed, that's right, the answer has become simple, and we will definitely be able to pass the next level. The challenge on the third floor is even more distant. It is a huge mist. There is a wall that moves everywhere. Every wall is filled with a mouth, and he moves and shouts, find out the exit, idiots, be sleepy if you can't find it. There's also a huge clock in the center of the mist. It knocks on time and makes a sound of old sound, accompanied by a laugh, there is not much time left, hurry up, ha ha ha. Lu Feng wanted to forcefully say, look at me to break the mystery with one sword. As a result, he went down, cut the moving wall, and the wall stood up and fought back, shouting in his mouth, did you kill me? It hurts. Then a bunch of walls came over, trapping Lu Feng in the middle, making him shout, why are you hitting someone in this wall? Jianing tried to use magic, I'll come, wind blade, cut the wall. As a result, the wind blade lost control and cut to another wall. The wall roared, oh, who cut me? Look for a suck. More walls moved over, squeezing the three of us. I looked at the group and complained, can you stop fucking me again? A cut wall and a cut wall, why don't you just worship the wall? The wall in this mysterious palace is more swaying than you, and it is simply the essence of the wall world. Ding! The extremely vicious tongue moves, the wall's atmosphere decreases, the movement speed slows down, the self-important energy increases, Lu Feng's power plus 20%, Jianing magic control plus 20%. The system sounded, and the walls really slowed down, muttering in their mouths, why are this human mouth so poisonous? Forget it, I'm very moved. Lu Feng took advantage of the opportunity to slash a wall, but this time he didn't cut it empty, and opened a way. Jianing's magic was rarely out of control, and the wind blade accurately cut several obstacles, so we finally found the exit and rushed to the fourth floor. The fourth floor is an empty hall. There is a huge mirror in the center. The mirror emits strange light. A loud voice that comes from the mirror, ha ha ha, finally, I have been waiting for you for a long time. I am the king of strange things, the demon king of glass, the most powerful existence in the strange world. I have seen your jokes. It is indeed a bit interesting, but if you want to challenge me, be prepared to be fascinated by my charm. I looked at the lens and complained, Carmore? Just your broken lens can reveal my dark circles at the top, and you still want to fascinate people? If you continue to worry about it, you will probably be able to fascinate yourself. Ding! Finally, the vicious tongue was moving, the Demon King's aura slightly decreased, the aura of his altar increased, and the ability of the whole team was plus 10%. The system sounded, and the sound in the lens screamed, dare you dare to laugh at my charm? What a big slut. Lu Feng rushed up and said, look at me smashing you with one shot. Jianing also slapped his staff, I'll come, fireball technique. I continued to whine, if you hit you, the lens is harder than your face. Do you shout? It's almost the same to call you big. The lens Demon King was forced to light up by the attacks of the three of us, and shouted loudly, you wait, my ultimate move has not yet been released. It seems that the battle is about to be discovered. Although this strange king is far from over, his strength cannot be underestimated. It's hard to say whether our most hilarious adventure team's funny way of fighting can end up laughing in the end. My name is Mingxuan, and I am standing on the top of the Tower of Waste, facing the Spectre Demon King, who is known as the King of Weirdness. This guy is a huge mirror with a shiny surface, radiating a strange light. The sound in the mirror makes people want to vomit, and they are still shouting, ha ha ha, I am the most famous person in the world of strange things. I have seen your jokes, but I want to challenge me, be prepared to be fascinated by my charm. I rolled my eyes and couldn't help but open my mouth, Carmore? Just your shady lens can reveal my dark circles, and you still want to fascinate people? If you continue to worry about it, you will probably be able to fascinate yourself. Ding! Finally, my tongue was pissed off. The Demon King's aura dropped slightly. His altar's aura increased. The team's ability was plus 10%. The system sounded in my brain. The lens was indeed shining with light. The sound inside screamed, dare you laugh at my charm? What a big lie. Come on, take my challenge, I want you to kneel down and shout. Lu Feng heard it, and the leopard rushed up with the broken sword and shouted, look at me smashing you with one sword. As a result, the broken sword was swinging, and the surface of the Demon King on the lens was shaking. A perfectly similar Lu Feng was reflected in the lens. He took the same broken sword and made a complete synchronous action and counterattack towards Lu Feng. With a bang, Lu Feng was slashed at the shoulder by his slide. The whole person was shocked to retreat a few steps, and screamed in pain, hey! What kind of thing is this, how can you imitate me? When Jianing saw this, she also slapped her staff and chanted a spell in her mouth, fireball art, I will kill you. A fireball shook the lens directly, but the lens was shaking again, and the fireball was completely copied and rolled back, and the speed was even faster. Jianing jumped quickly, and the fireball hit the wall next to it, and a piece of black smoke exploded. She stomped her feet in anger, how can you copy this lens even magic? My fireball technique has never been so accurate. I watched this scene, and my brain was flying and I didn't stop saying, come on, your moves were already a pitfall, but now they are still copied, and they are simply a pitfall. No matter how hard this lens is, it can't hide the fact that it is a copycat. I can't copy it so easily, why don't I open a band shop directly? Ding! Finally, my tongue was pissed off. The magic weapon of the Glass Demon King slightly decreased. The magic weapon of the whole team increased. The ability of the whole team was plus 10%. The system sounded up, and the magic weapon was so angry that the light on the surface was dimmed a little, and the sound was sharp, copy where? This is called perfect copying, it is the supreme and incompetent ability. No matter how vicious your mouth is, you can't change your life to be crushed by me. Look at the call, my mirror army. As the sound fell, the surface of the lens waved more violently. Then three figures walked out of the lens, namely Lu Feng, Jianing and my lens. Each lens was exactly the same as ours, and even the expressions were synchronized. The mirror Lu Feng was shattering and slashing over Jin Lu Feng. The mirror Jianing threw a fireball at Jin Jianing. The mirror said to me in a strange way, "Hey, Mingjia, your complaints are only at this level. Come on, let's compare who is more poisonous." Lu Feng hit his own lens in a hurry and shouted, "What's this thing? How can you fight with me? I can't tell whether it's true or not." As a result, he accidentally fell into the head of the foot and fell down again. Lu Feng also fell down, and the two of them formed a group, and the scene was as funny as if they were performing a sketch. Jianing was chased by his own fireball and ran away, hiding and shouting, "Not even if my magic is out of control, why does it seem like it is out of control? Ming, think about it quickly. If we continue to hit this, we will be killed by ourselves." Her fireball finally avoided, but she accidentally hit Lu Feng's butt. Lu Feng jumped up in pain and roared, "Jianing! You exploded me again." I looked at the group, my head was getting bigger, and I kept complaining, "Symbol Demon King, why did you still have a bug in your ability to copy? I copied Lu Feng and fucked his own people, why didn't I copy my brain out directly? Think about how to fight. With your IQ, even the strange king is a face with 2 words of strange words." Ding! The extremely vicious tongue moves, the magic weapon of the glass devil will decrease, the synchronous rate of the glass devil will decrease, the magic weapon will increase, the strength of Lu Feng plus 20%, and the magic control of the Jianing plus 20%. The system sounded, and the sound of the magic weapon of the glass devil will indeed be frustrated. "You are such a human being, no matter how vicious the mouth is, it is useless. My magic weapon is invincible, let me see if I don't crush you." Although the synchronization rate of the lens has been reduced a little, the attack is still fierce. Lu Feng finally got up, and with the support of his power, he cut his own lens. As a result, the lens turned into a group of smoke and disappeared. He was stunned for a moment and shouted excitedly, "It turns out that it can be broken up. Minghua, your complaints work, continue to speak, I'll come again." As he said, he rushed towards another lens again. Although it was still chopping crookedly, he didn't fall anymore. Jianing was also blessed by magic control. This time the fireball technique did not lose control. She accurately hit her own lens. The lens turned into a smoke and disappeared. She clapped her hands happily, "Success. Ming, hurry up and snap that lens, I'll go again." As she said, she threw the fireball at my lens again, helping me to distribute some pressure. I took the opportunity to continue to open my mouth and blew wildly at the lens. "Demon King, is there any enemy? You are such a broken lens, and you have more than a selfie artifact on your own, and you don't have a similar attack. Are you still embarrassed to call yourself the king? If you don't recognize it, believe it or not, I will block your mouth, so that you will become a mirror, and you will never be able to see your ugly appearance." Ding! The extremely vicious tongue is finally activated, the group mockery effect is touching, the atmosphere of the Demon King on the lens has dropped significantly, the synchronous rate of the lens has been further reduced, and the ability of our entire team is plus 30%. The system sounds up, and a small crack suddenly appeared on the surface of the lens, and the sound also changed to a halt. "You, how can your mouth be so poisonous in humanity? This king's perfect image cannot be defiled by you. Come on, my ultimate copy." The lens shone brightly and tried to call out another wave of lenses, but because of the decline in talent, the lens movements became extremely irritating. Lu Feng and Jianing took advantage of the opportunity to exert force. Lu Feng cut off the last lens with one shot. Jianing threw out a fireball. Although it was a little off, it was at least hit on the edge of the lens and exploded a scorch mark. I looked at the crack on the lens, and my brain turned around and found this guy's weakness. It couldn't stand a complaint at all. Every time I get out of my mouth, its taxi will drop and the cracks will grow. It seems that it is impossible to fight hard. The mouth cannon is the king. So I took a deep breath and prepared for a wave of final results. "Dark King of Spectrum, don't be slammed. You have no qualifications to withdraw from the crack in 7 days. Do you still dare to call yourself perfect if you are full of cracks? Your charm is probably unscathed by the stones along the way. You should just admit it to avoid being caught off guard again. Otherwise, I will help you register for the ugliest competition in the weird mainland, and you may even get a comfort award. What's the case? Ding! The savage tongue finally moves, the blasting effect of the mouth cannon is touching, the Demon King's aura collapses, the defense power is greatly reduced, and the cracks are dissipated. The system sounds, and the Demon King's voice finally brings a panic. No, impossible. How can this king's perfect image be destroyed by a person like you, such as the savage tongue? Stop talking. Don't say it. The cracks on the lens quickly expanded, like a spider net, filling the entire surface, and the light became dim and incomparable. Lu Feng saw this, and the horse thrust up and shouted, "Look at my last hit." This time he didn't cut the empty space. A sword slashed hard in the center of the lens. With a click, the crack exploded and the lens turned into countless pieces and scattered all over the ground. Jianingye filled a small fireball behind it, and the pieces flew out, and shouted in his mouth, it's broken, who'll make you copy my magic?" The sound of the lens Demon King was transmitted from the fragments, and it continued, with unwillingness, "You, actually, destroyed my perfection. But don't be too early to go home. Ha ha. Let's see again, stay here forever." After speaking, the sound disappeared, and the fragments turned into a black smoke, dissipated. The whole scene was quiet for a moment, and I stood there in my heart, responding to the sentence "keep here forever and complain," and a silence in my heart. What does it mean? What is the way home? Didn't the strange king say that he could go home by defeating him? Isn't that guy Zihan? Will it be a pit again, right? Lu Feng was slapped and said, "Goodbye? Stay here forever? How do you say this lens like a quarrel? Ming, let's win. Why haven't you seen the way home?" Jianing picked up a piece of glass fragments, studied them for a while, and muttered, "This fragment has no magic waves, it is probably just an ordinary glass. Ming, aren't we really cheated, right?" I sighed, and the system sound in my brain suddenly sounded, "Ding." Congratulations to the host for hitting the weird king, the Tutsao system has been fully upgraded, and the ultimate toxic tongue effect has been permanently strengthened, and the final name is unlocked, King of Tutsao. Award, Weird Mainland conveys identity, and the maximum amount of Tutsao energy is plus 1000. As for the way home, the system doesn't know, keep taking risks. I heard it and almost broke down. I couldn't help but complain, "System, are you embarrassed to hee?" After playing the big boss, I didn't have any tickets to go home, so I kept taking risks. Why don't you just say that this is a single game, and it will never end? Ding! The complaint was successful, and the reward was plus 10. The system sounded, but I already understood it. Looking at the fragments of glass on the ground, I suddenly realized that this strange road to home in the mainland may have been a joke from the beginning. Zihan never really pointed out the way, and the last sentence of the Demon King of the Glass seemed to be mocking me, staying here forever to complain. Lu Feng saw that my face was not right, patted my shoulder, and smiled, "My bright, don't think so many, what's wrong with going home? Although this place is weird, it's quite interesting. The three of us teams won so many scenes, which is already said. Besides, you heard so much of your name as the King of Comics, and no one believed you when you go back." Jianing also pointed and said happily, "Yes, right. I have learned a lot of magic here, but although I still lose control, it is much stronger than before. Ming, your mouth is so poisonous, and you don't even get rid of it when you go back. It's so good that you can unlock your skills at any time. Maybe you can defeat a bigger boss in the future." I looked at them, the corners of my mouth twitched, and complained, "Do you really want to stay here, or am I complaining that your brain is damaged? Is it impossible to go home? Can you really live with the chicken and the self-reporter slime?" Ding! The reward is rewarded with energy plus 5. The system sounded, and Lu Feng and Jianing heard it, laughed. Lu Feng patted his chest and said, "What's wrong with my life? My Master of Arts can be cut in advance, and it's worth it to accompany you to complain." Jianing said in a blink of an eye, "That's right, my magic will not get out of control one day. let's work together, we can only complain about all the weird things in this vast world. I was helpless and still a little unwilling to accept it, but looking at these two teammates who were not reliable, I was really reluctant to let it go. From time to time, although we have been pitted countless times, the three of us stumbled all the way from the beginning of the Chicken King War, to the Funny Town, the Bones Forest, to the competition field and the Waste Tower, and it has become a legend of the strange world. Although Lu Feng cut all the time, he could always miss the scene at the critical moment. Although Jianing's magic was out of control, he could accidentally resolve the crisis every time he exploded, and I, from an ordinary person who could only complain, became a true king of complaints, and defeated the final boss with one mouth. Perhaps, the journey home is indeed a joke, but the experience along the way has made me grow from the initial confusion and inappropriateness to someone who can accept this absurd world. The complaints are no longer just about being happy, but have become my real power, and even changed Lu Feng and Jianing, making the tacit understanding between the three of us irreplaceable. I sighed and finally smiled. Okay, since I can't go back, then stay and continue to be humble. The strange land is so big, maybe there are even more remarkable bosses waiting for us to complain. Lu Feng, Jianing, from today on, our most tricky adventure team has officially changed its name, complaining about the enemy-free group. How about it? When Lu Feng heard this, the steelman shouted, "Okay. I complain about the enemy group, but I feel domineering when I hear it. My master of the drama will guarantee that I will not cut it in the future, so I will accompany you to the ends of the world." As a result, he accidentally cut the wall next to him, and the wall wailed, "Hey, who cut me? It hurts." Jianing clapped her hands happily. "I like this name too. My magic will continue to get out of control, but it is guaranteed to blow people up. Ming, you are the king of complaints, take us to more places to laugh." I looked at them and couldn't help laughing. Are you laughing? Wherever we go, it's just a joke. Okay, let's go. The Tower of Devil has been beaten, and the next stop I heard a funny sea area. The weirdness inside said it was more self-confessing than the Mirror Demon King. Let's meet them and see who can laugh to the end. So, the three of us walked out of the abandoned tower, with the sun shining outside the tower on them, and the residents of the Funny Town far away were still passing their strange lives. The flying pigs were humming songs in the air, and the dressed dogs sold skewers on the road. Everything was still so absurd. But there is a little more outlook in my heart. Since I can't go back, then turn this vast land into a true saying. The story of Weihua mainland is not over yet, but I know that I have grown from a time traveler who just wants to go home to the king of complaints. There are still many challenges waiting for us in the future. I don't know, but I know that as long as there are two pits, Lu Feng and Jianing, as long as my poisonous tongue can still open my mouth, this large-scale laughter will never stop.